Today's show, we're going to talk quarterbacks getting new contracts, women in sports, and I break down the MCU universe. Today, this is a brand new Down Right Sports, March 6th, 13th. Yeah, I got it, 13th. Welcome everybody to a brand new Down Right Sports here only on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Yeah, because I chop it up and I put it anywhere I want. I am your host, Brent Reed. This is the first time you're watching. This is a sports show from a fan's perspective with a fan's thoughts. Yeah, so it's a fan show. So if something is factually wrong, it's okay. Even though I do a lot of homework to back up some of the crap I have to say. Let's get the shout outs out the way. Something new I'm trying. Shout out to my producer of the I'm Just Talking podcast, DJ Chase. Also the man responsible for some of the music that you're hearing in the background today. Shout out to my music producer, Mike Miff. Who sounds so sick. You can follow him at Mike Miff on Twitter. Now, let's start every show as I love to start them with the must-know news, and we kick it off with Drew Brees has inked a new deal. The quarterback of the New Orleans Saints for past 10 plus years, Super Bowl winning Drew Brees, by the way, has decided to stay with the Saints. Him and Tom Brady want to see who can file for AARP the fastest by being the oldest quarterbacks in the league. Drew Brees is inking a 2-year deal worth $50 million. So this is where we all go. Good for you, buddy. Good for you. Drew Brees last year led the Saints back to the playoffs. He had a pretty doggone good year. MVP level kind of year, but he didn't get it. But in any case, congratulations, Drew Brees. Hopefully you keep playing at the high level that you keep playing at. And other news, basketball news, not NBA though. The Big Three has a new commissioner. There's a new chief in charge, and he is the king of the yay. Ice Cube, the owner and creator of the Big Three Basketball League, is now going to be the commissioner. He's replacing Roger Mason Jr. after just one season. So, whatevs. Maybe, whatevs. Moving on. In women's college basketball, the brackets came out. We're not breaking down the brackets because it was very confusing, and some of these teams I never even heard of. But again, the overall number one team is the UConn ladies. They do it again. They seem to be number one all the time. I don't think they've ever not been number one ever since Gino Auriemma has taken over the program. They're just dominant. So more than likely they'll win again this year. And it's been a quiet year for women's basketball. There's been a lot of talk. So I think Tennessee. I'm gonna pick Tennessee to win. I saw some highlights yesterday. They got two girls and two women. I don't know what to say anymore, but they're tall and they look dominant, and they kind of got that Candace Parker kind of game. So I look for Tennessee maybe to pull away and pick up a win. And finally, this just came across the wire. Kirk Cousins, the world's greatest quarterback. Kirk Cousins, the quarterback who has done it all. Kirk Cousins. The Hall of Fame has already selected a wing for Kirk Cousins. Is going to sign a new deal with the Minnesota Vikings. Looking at the screen right now, it's a guaranteed 3 years, fully guaranteed 3 years, $84 million for Kirk Cousins, who has more MVP trophies than Brett Favre, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Eli Manning, Ben Roethlisberger, Joe Montana combined. Kirk Cousins, who makes Johnny Unitas look like a scrub. Kirk Cousins, who basically, you like that? Kirk Cousins. Yeah, he's won that much. That's how great he is. Whatever. Congratulations on your money, dog. But we're doing a show next week where I'm going to cook the NFL for this travesty, because this is ridiculous. Let's not harp on that, all right? That's when we come back in the next segment, we're going to talk about women in sports and the importance of the future and where it's going. I'm Brent Reed. This is Down Right Sports. I wish I could pull something down. Welcome everybody. Welcome back. It's a quick break, short break, less than a second. Any case, this is segment number 2, the topic, and today's segment, we're talking about women in sports. Sports has always played a huge factor in society and in life. It kind of reflects the changing of the guard a lot of times. If you go back to, baseball, Jackie Robinson integrating in baseball, becoming the first African American to play in baseball. What made it so important was baseball was the sport of the time. You already had, you had Jack Johnson in the early 1800s, who was the first black heavyweight champion in boxing, but was so outrageous that they took the title from him, and basically the next black champion was Joe Louis in the 50s. The 40s. Joe Louis, but he had to sign like some ridiculous contract. Today, we got a lot of stuff going on. You got the women in Hollywood taking a stance. They want their voices heard. They want more decisions to be made. And in sports, it's kind of the same thing. Now, I picked the topic because it is Women's Month in March. So, it's only fair to, let's go down this hole and figure out where the light is. And pretty much the conversation always is, well, why is it the WNBA or women's soccer or any other women's sport? Why is it not looked at in the same light as the men's sport? And there's a lot of stuff. A lot of factors that play into that. It's still a lot of old school mentality where people, men in particular, and even some women, don't find it as appealing. It's women, it's not men. If there's basketball, so they don't dunk. They still shoot threes. Steph Curry doesn't dunk. They still, you know what I'm saying? And they look for reasons why not. I think because it's different. It is. It's like the first. I talk women's sports. I relate it to the Negro Leagues. It is exciting. They are as competitive, but it's not mainstream yet because they don't have the same outlets and the same sources, because they don't draw kind of what men draw. Some men's sports just draw because it's just impulse right now. You know what I'm saying? Now, you can say what you want. Well, this woman, do you watch? I don't. But there's a lot of men's sports I don't watch either. But I will watch a WNBA game if I have nothing else to do. I'll put it on, this white noise in the background. And, because I can't respect teams like the Minnesota Lynx, who are dominant and keep winning and have great talent like Maya Moore, or the Sparks, who have Candace Parker, or don't get me started, but I can't think of her name right now, who just got traded to the Mystics last year. She played for Denver. Anyway, they have the talent, they have the pieces, but what women's sports need is support from women. They need women outlets. The thing that killed the Negro Leagues was the Negro Leagues could not compete with Major League Baseball because they didn't have the same outlet. Once Jackie jumped and they were able to get more, they took the eyes away from the Negro Leagues. Negro Leagues was one of the most, had its own economy. They used to call the black dollar the black economy, because cities that had Negro League teams made that much more money because it was the thing to do. At one point, the WNBA used to draw when it first came out. The Houston Comets were a huge draw. Indiana was a draw. And then it died because I think what happened is things like ESPN, things like Fox, or even women's channels devoted to women, don't promote the product, don't promote the sports. And then the women themselves don't have their own. They got to go to like Russia and stuff like that just to get paid. If you look individually now, we support women individually. Tennis, golf, driving. If it's one that we can harness all our energy on. And then, even then, like Serena Williams, great tennis player, greatest tennis player ever. But what she has to do, she has to sex it up a little bit. She has to go into magazines. She has to make herself known. She had to, there was a period of time she almost had to become a model to make you remember she was a tennis player. So if you look at somebody like, Maria Sharapova, just got in trouble. Just came off suspension. Highest paid female athlete or something like that. And she gets more endorsements than Serena. Why? She's a blonde Russian who is cute. And people care more about seeing her on the cover of a magazine than her winning. But Serena busts her butt every time she faces her, and everybody knows the name Serena Williams, but she doesn't get the endorsements. So in order, and I'm going to wrap this up, I think in order for women's sports, or women in general, to take that next leap in making their, whatever they want to do, the it thing, or put it on the same platform, they need to put all their energy, including men, they're going to need the help too, but put all their energy in making the sport, whatever it is, finding one and make it popular. I would take something like the WNBA, put everything I had behind it, and grow it. Just grow the mess out of it. Not pay any attention to what the NBA is doing, not pay any attention to what anybody else is doing, and just make that the center of the universe. Shorten the season, that's number one, because it's too freaking long to begin with. And then just literally take the Vince McMahon approach. Take controversy. Take wherever it is, gossip, throw it out there. Market it. Find your face. Find your Hulk Hogan. Find your John Cena. Find your Babe Ruth. You had the window when you had Lisa Leslie when she was dunking. You got Brittany Griner, who can dunk. Candace Parker can dunk. But they're going to have to take one female athlete, what took baseball, got to wrap this up, what took baseball to the next level, what grew it. Babe Ruth became the highest paid athlete in the world at his time. And then what happened after that? Baseball blew because he was that guy. Everybody wanted to see him. Some people wanted to see him because of the money. Some people wanted to see him because he could play. And some people, is he a myth? Is he a legend? Oh, let's go see him. Boxing went to the next level as soon as Ali became the richest boxer. So they got to take one player, put her head and shoulders above everybody else, and have the world chase her. Whether it's women's soccer doesn't need help, because once the World Cup comes around, everybody's going to watch that. But the sports that matter right now, where there's a mainstream, is the WNBA. Use that, and then you will start seeing more female executives in the other sports. For example, I think, what sport could a woman play side by side with a man with is the conversation everybody always wants to have. Don't have that conversation. First dominate what you have, and then start looking to migrate. Because what made people want Jackie is because how great Negro League players were. And they had to have one. So it's my 2 cents. It's hard coming from a man. You know what I mean? It really is. But I do want to see success from, I want it on the same platform, because it's not fair that like the women's NCAA bracket is like an afterthought. ESPN does its best, but it's not as big. And the only reason why ESPN talks about it is they have a contract with it. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, we come back. Something a little lighter. The MCU, Marvel Cinematic Universe. Hey, what's that? Down Right Sports. Sean, this segment is for you. Welcome, everybody. This is the last part of the show. If you've watched so far, thank you for sticking in. We're going to make this one quick. The goal is to kind of condense the show, make it faster, because I've done some 20, 30, too long. But anyway, movies and video games is my favorite segment, because I get to have fun and talk about nonsense, and it's not sports related. But this one will have a list, and we'll have some competition. So I decided to do I just watched Thor Ragnarok for the second time. I got the DVD the other day. Of course, the success of Black Panther just came out, so everybody's over going balls to the wall for Black Panther. So let's discuss the top 10 MCU movies. Let's do it better. The Down Right Sports top 10 MCU movies so far, because the Infinity Wars comes out in April, and I probably will jump to number 1. So let's start with number, should we do it 10 through 1? Let's do 10 through 1. Yeah. So starting with number 10, the very first Guardians of the Galaxy. It was tough because the second one was really good, but the first one was just breathtaking. It was really funny, and it was the first time you really didn't see that in these type of movies. You didn't really get that kind of funny. It's breaking news: Cousins plans to sign with Vikings. Just came across the wire. All right, number 9, Black Panther. What? It's not higher. It's not. All right, Black Panther was good, not great. Refreshing, but not different. If that makes sense. We've seen it. Guy struggling, father, thoughts, doesn't know how to feel, in love, comes the hero that the world needs, like the hero that he wants to be, blah, blah, blah. We've seen it. Good movie. Cracked my top 10, but not the top 5. Number 8, Ant-Man. Ant-Man is in that... Ant-Man has that Guardians feel, but I thought it was a little bit better. It had more emotion to it. You had that father and daughter thing. And then I just like the character. Ant-Man's like... all the Marvel Cinematic Universe are B characters that they made great people. Ant-Man is on the bottom of that list. Like, who the hell can make an Ant-Man good? And Paul Rudd did it. Number 7, Doctor Strange. Another one. Who is Doctor Strange? But Doctor Strange was actually pretty good. Cumberbatch made it his own. I can't see anybody else playing that character. That's like Wolverine. Like when Hugh Jackman became Wolverine, I feel the same like Cumberbatch. Like nobody will get to replace that role. Number 6. This is going to bother a lot of people. I don't care. The Incredible Hulk was good. Now, Mark Ruffalo is worn on me, but who was before him was, dang it, I forgot his name. But Mark Ruffalo, the guy who was the Hulk before Ruffalo and he left, I thought was fantastic. I thought he played Bruce Banner great. I thought he played the Hulk character great. I thought the movie was pretty good because it's the Hulk, we know who he is, but it's Banner struggling to become, not wanting to become the Hulk, and he did that. He showed that throughout the movie, and I think people seem to forget that he showed how much, like, I want to spend my life, like Ruffalo, that's what everybody, he doesn't want to be the Hulk. Well, this guy didn't either. Ed Norton, god darn, I couldn't think of that name. Ed Norton did such a good job running, and like, there's a scene in the movie, he's really running from being the Hulk, and then when he has to become the Hulk, he becomes the Hulk. Number 5, speaking of the Hulk, Thor Ragnarok, cracked my top 5. Funny, entertaining, visually one of the best Marvel movies I've ever seen because the colors and everything, it was like an old 80s movie. It was like Flash Gordon, and it was really good. I tip my cap to them, and then Kate Beckinsale is hot and sexy in the whole thing, and she just steals the movie from me. Number 4, Civil War. I actually was going to kick... I didn't want to... Civil War is in the top 4 because it's the first time we see all these big heroes on one screen. Civil War, the story was colluded. It was all over the place. If people want to complain about Justice League or Dawn or Batman v Superman, this had the same BS. They just started fighting for no reason. Come on, stop. It just made no sense that they fought. The movie is in my top 4 because Spider-Man's in it, and I had to put it in the top 4 because I wouldn't hit the end of it. I should have kept it out, so I should have did. Number 3, the first Avengers movie. Need I say more? It was, when I watch it now, I get those chills. Like, oh, stop, they're together. Number 2, the first Iron Man. Oh my God, first Iron Man is like the first time I saw Superman or the first time I saw Batman. It was like, oh snap, he's really Iron Man. Like the same thing I said about Cumberbatch, like not playing Doctor Strange, like he has to play Doctor Strange. That's Robert Downey Jr. Robert Downey Jr. is Tony Stark. Sean Connery is James Bond. Matt Damon is Jason Bourne. Like that's how the two go together. Finally, number 1, drum roll. Oh, I gotta find me a drum roll. Winter Soldier, no question. Not because Winter Soldier was one of the best movies, not comic book movie, just movie. It had everything. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Captain America's in it and da. But this could have been just a standalone movie on its own. Like it didn't need to even connect to the cinematic universe. That's how good of a movie Winter Soldier was. Like Winter Soldier became the standard how they make movies in the cinematic universe, man. It was dope. So that's my top 10. If you got an issue with it, comment on the bottom. I can't wait to hear what you got to say. And Sean, this clip is going exclusively to you because I want you to lose your crap and just go nuclear. Hey, thanks you for watching. This has been another great show, another fun. I enjoyed today's show. Next week we'll be back, another show. NFL is the topic, and I hate talking about the NFL when it's not an NFL season, but I have to dive in like this fascination on crappy quarterbacks, white crappy quarterbacks, and just discover and see what the hell's going on. But you guys enjoy yourself. Be safe out there. If you're in the East and you got bad weather, stay home or shovel. And deuces.